Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brett Keene from God TV Radio. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. When you get an opportunity, you can check out my new music album that has dropped. Go to the front page of my YouTube channel, and you'll see a long playlist of over 20 songs that you can listen to for absolutely free. And if you'd like to support me, you can buy the album off of over 100 different outlets having to do with music. As you also know, I run a radio station where you can watch me, listen to me, videos, all that exclusive content on Spotify, Amazon Music, and also hundreds of other outlets. Today I found out something really fascinating. One of my favorite actors in the whole wide world, as well as my wife, Alan Ritchson, who plays Reacher, it turns out that he's a Christian. And he's been standing up for Christianity for a very long time. He went on the Bill Maher show, and Bill Maher tried to embarrass him. Bill Maher is the type of person that doesn't have any kind of honor or loyalty whatsoever. He's a kind of a snobby guy, a know-it-all, your typical atheist who thinks he's a badass and usually turns out to also be gay. He tried to embarrass Mr. Allen, but it didn't work out. And Allen since then has had an absolutely successful show. However, it's not without its struggles or challenges. As many know, Hollywood is godless. It's filled with disgusting behavior and perverts and filth buckets. So he's had a very difficult time. There were guys like him before, not with the same build, like Tim Allen, Kevin Sorbo, who played Hercules and was famous for many, many years and created many seasons with Xena Warrior Princess, and eventually went on to push Bruce Campbell's material in Evil Dead, also the Hercules and Xena Warrior Princess series, and then later on they ended up doing a remake of Evil Dead, a television type of series. The whole show was pretty good, except for the Mexican actor that they had that was extremely annoying and was basically an unnecessary evil in the entire show. Basically a boring character that wasted film and time for everybody. We won't get into that anymore, but it was really cool. There's been people out there that state or challenge Alan by saying, how can you be a Christian and believe in God and then play a character like Reacher? I suppose they're suggesting because Reacher is this military guy who ended up basically deciding at some point in time that he would get on the road and just travel from state to state and enjoy the country for what it is, and continues to find himself in trouble, whether it's terrorists or bomb makers or, just bad people in general. That formula, kind of like Jason Statham finds himself in, where he's just trying to mind his own business, people fuck with him, or he sees somebody picking on someone vulnerable and then beats the ever-living hell out of them. So they think, well, that's not very Christian. Although the Bible teaches us to love our neighbor and to do unto others as we want done unto ourselves, we're not commanded to sit back if some child has been kidnapped while a mother is being abused and not do something about it. If we see a bank being robbed, there isn't anywhere in the Bible where it says that we should just stand back and allow people to rob people and harm people and shoot people and all this. In fact, one of the favorited things that atheists like to talk about is how violent Christians were in the past whenever their lands were taken over by Muslims and they fought back and ended up winning. I'd say 98% of the time. During the Crusades and Inquisitions, they battled it out with the pagans, and we all know what happened with the pagans. They had their asses whipped. So Christians have never been a weak lot. Christians have never been cowardly. Takes a lot of strength and a lot of love and a lot of endurance to be someone like Jesus Christ who walked the earth and went through the hell that he went through, tortured in the end, crucified, and of course resurrected 3 days later. And even after he was tortured and killed, he said, "Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do." This was a God that was not only powerful and strong, but also had the compassion and love along with it. I don't know where people get this idea. At some point in time in the last 100 years, that's the big thing. A lot of atheists want to manipulate and abuse Christians, and then when Christians fight back, or they say, "No, I'm not going to allow myself to be manipulated or pushed or treated like a rag doll," the atheist goes and cries in a corner in a fetal position going, "I don't understand it. Why did this happen for?" Now, there's nowhere in any of the television show of Reacher where Reacher hurts anyone innocent. He intentionally will try to talk things out with every one of his opponents. He tells them, "You don't want this. You don't want to fight me." Or he'll just stand there and stare and not say a word, and then it's up to his opponent or whoever is the agitator to come at him. Reacher doesn't just walk into places and just start beating the hell out of people unless they've done some kind of criminal behavior. And it's always been like that. If you're a non-believer, then you have no value on life. You don't have any point. I mean, you can squeal all day about, "Oh, I care about people. I know what the difference between right and wrong is," based upon what? Society? Humanity? Humanity usually chooses the wrong choices every time. So if you're learning your morality from humanity or the government or what culture says, then your morality changes just as the wind blows. All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a good one. God bless.